I always overeat or binge in the evening or at the weekend. How can I stop this? This is a common question I get, and there are so many reasons this can happen. In this video, I will show you the most common reasons and what can you do about it. I help many people overcome this issue, and if you are searching for a personalized solution, just book a free discovery call at the link in the description so we can quickly solve this issue for you. Let's start the first reason for overeating in the evening or at weekends with a question. Do you eat enough during the day or during the week? You may not even notice that you don't eat enough because you are so busy doing stuff all day or all week. Maybe you are too stressed to eat. You have a knot in your stomach all day and you can eat only in the evening and then you eat a lot, or only at the weekend. Or maybe you are dieting, restricting certain foods, or eat too low-calorie foods during the day. And then by the evening, you run out of willpower and motivation and you overeat. So the solution for this is, if you are too busy to eat, nowadays you can order healthy food, right? Not just junk food. You can order healthy food, or those packages when you just throw together something because everything is in the box. Or you can prepare something during the weekend and just make a big batch of something that you can eat during the week. Also, I showed in my previous videos, there is a playlist about the science and eating, why you need to eat regular meals to avoid this uncertainty that your body feels when you are in a restrictive diet. So try to eat regularly, so 3 meals a day at least, and have balanced meals containing protein, healthy fats, complex carbohydrates, and fiber. The Eat Well plate could be a good starting point, but if you are really far from it, you may need to get to it gradually. And you may not even need to get to that plate exactly, and you can just adjust it by listening to the biofeedback you get from your body, the signals your body is sending you. And this is what I help my clients to do. Avoid these quick fix diet, weight loss teas or detoxes or magic pills that help you lose weight very quickly, because you will gain the weight back anyway. GLP-1 can work for some people, but you still need to learn how to have a healthy relationship with your body and food, because otherwise you will go back to your old habits and you gain the weight back when you stop taking the drug. Right? See how stress affects you. Some people can't eat when they are stressed and then they overeat in the evening because they couldn't eat anything all day. Others eat to release stress. They need to eat to numb the feeling of stress. Right? In both cases, it's very useful to learn to manage stress by building mental fitness and learning nervous system regulating practices, like some of the simple, tiny habits that I showed in my previous video. You can watch it here. So let's start the second reason for overeating in the evening or at weekends with another question. Are your meals satisfying? Do you feel satisfied after finishing your meals? Maybe you just keep eating in the evening or at the weekend because you didn't find the food that you ate all day or all week satisfying. Maybe you just grabbed something random during the day and you ordered something in the evening, or you had some diet food or a sad little salad because you tried to be good, right? And then you just can't stop eating because you are still seeking the satisfaction, the pleasure you get from food. No matter how nutritious or healthy that food is, if you don't find it satisfying, you will want to keep eating, right? Try adding some texture, maybe some creaminess or some crunch that makes it more satisfying. I used to eat very healthily and very clean. And very often I didn't find these clean foods satisfying, and I just wanted to keep eating, and I needed really strong willpower not to keep eating, right? And when you are tired in the evening, you don't have this willpower anymore. Or during the weekend, you want to have fun, and then you don't want to just white knuckle your day through some sad food, and you want to eat something nice during the weekend with your family. Right? So just adding in some not so healthy, not so nutritious foods in smaller amounts. You have mostly whole foods, but you add in your favorite ingredients or your favorite food in smaller amounts can make the meals so much more satisfying. and then you don't want to keep eating. Also, eat your favorite foods during the week too, or during the day too, not only in the evening or at the weekend, because then it's just normal. It's not going to be this special thing that I can only eat at the weekend, right? Or maybe in the evening. And when you eat your food, eat it slowly and mindfully and try to pay attention to the flavors. I know you are busy during the day and you can't do it, but at least once a day, especially in the evening when you would overeat, try to slow down and pay attention to the textures, the flavors, the temperature, and just be present with your food. Because when you eat mindlessly while working still, or watching TV or doing something else, it's like when you try to have a conversation with someone while you are also working at the same time. You can't pay attention, so you will always ask back, what did you say? Sorry, what was that again? And it's the same with your body. You are doing something else, and then your body will ask you, what did we eat again? I don't remember eating. Let's eat more because I just don't remember we had some food, right? So pay attention to that food, be present with it, slow down with it, especially during that meal when you overeat. So it's the evening or the weekends in this case. And also, if you have a balanced meal that I showed you in the Eat Well plate, those are more satisfying than just eating naked carbs, right? Only pasta without protein. Or if you try to eat very low carb and then you crave a carbohydrate. If you have everything on your plate, it will feel more satisfying. So let's see the third reason. It's boredom. Maybe you have so much to do all the time and it's always the same things. Evening routine with the kids, still having to work in the evening or at the weekend, and all the shopping, the cleaning, and taking the kids to their sport activities or whatever. It's always the same. There is just so much to do and you are bored of it, and you eat to procrastinate, because when you are eating, you don't have to do that stuff that you don't want to do, right? And the other end of the scale, you are maybe alone and feel a bit lonely, and food gives you comfort and company, right? So you eat to entertain yourself, to comfort yourself. Or another interesting reason for boredom could be being overstimulated. Previous one was understimulated because you had nothing to do all weekend or in the evenings, but you can be also overstimulated with constantly checking social media, scrolling on your phone, watching videos, playing online games, having Netflix marathons, and nothing seems interesting anymore, and you are just bored, and you eat to entertain yourself. Or you have everything in your life. From the outside, it looks completely perfect, but you live out of alignment with your values, and you feel unfulfilled, and it makes you feel bored with your life, and you feel this void in your life with food. And often we don't even know what our values are. We just feel that something is off. If you are not living in alignment with your core values, you create a disconnect between who you are in the inside and the life you are living on the outside. And this disconnect can zap your energy, makes you feel unfulfilled and bored, right? I have a free worksheet that you can download in the description, where you can find your core values and start to live in alignment with them, and you can feel more fulfilled. The fourth reason for overeating in the evening or at the weekend is that you use food as a source of energy instead of resting. Because you have so much to do, you have to finish something, and you stay up late and work, and you just snack to have energy to stay up and also to not fall asleep, right? It could be other reasons, for example, traveling when you have to drive, or, travel a long distance at night and you eat to stay awake. Or you stay awake for fun reasons. You go out, or you want to have a Netflix marathon, or you are just scrolling all night, right? And the thoughts driving these behaviors are like, other people depends on it. I just finish this one thing and then I go to bed. Or you have this belief that sleeping is a waste of time. I used to have this belief when I was younger and I had a lot of energy. Or you think that I just want to have fun and I want to finish this episode of something, right? This is more like me now at 51. Our priorities change as we get older. But remember, if you are too busy, it's okay to ask for help and you are allowed to rest for energy. And sleep isn't a waste of time because good sleep helps your body and mind to recover. It keeps us slim, focused, and healthy. When we don't sleep enough, our appetite increases because chronically bad sleep messes up our hormones. It makes us age faster, increases illnesses, makes us less focused at work and tired during the day, wired at night. And actually, most growth hormone related to the development of lean muscles is released when you sleep. And sleep is also essential to repair our overworked adrenal glands and thyroid function responsible for our basal metabolic rate. And people who don't sleep enough experience increased insulin resistance too. And as you probably noticed, when we are tired, we crave high energy sugary foods, right? And that's why you overeat in the evening when you are tired and you don't sleep. So try to sleep around 7 hours at night. Okay, the fifth reason is for overeating in the evening or at weekends is perfectionism. You want to do everything perfectly and you also want to look perfect. And this perfectionism is actually driven by the fear of being judged or criticized because no one likes to be judged or criticized, right? So you make sure that everything is done perfectly and you agonize over tiny details. And even when you finish something, you're still anxious about it. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe it's not good enough. So getting most things done is so stressful and takes a long time. And you also feel guilty when you are not productive and you take time for yourself because you could do something during that time. So because you are so busy perfecting everything, you don't have time, or even, as I said, you feel guilty if you take a rest or do something fun. So you are really kind of deprived of fun and pleasure and rest. And at the same time, you are restricting, following some strict diet. So you are also depriving yourself of your favorite foods or just food in general, right? Not eating enough. And at some point, your body and brain just can't cope with all these restrictions anymore. And you just want to have some pleasure from food. And when can you let the guard down to overeat or binge? Of course, in the evening or at weekends when no one can see you, right? Because from the outside, you are still perfect. So the solution to overcome this is to look into your life and see where you are very restricted, where you deprive yourself so much that it creates this pressure, this deprivation, and decrease that restriction a bit. You don't have to go all the other way and just not have any self-control or motivation. Just decrease that restriction to a level when you don't feel so deprived and you don't experience this binges or overeating episode anymore. And the sixth reason for overeating in the evening or at weekends is that you avoid your negative feelings and you use food to numb them, to distract yourself from them, or just simply to avoid feeling them. Maybe you constantly worry that you are not good enough. Even the most successful people sometimes feel like imposters. They are worried that one day people will figure out that they are not so good at what they do, they are not so qualified, and they will be exposed. But it's all in your head, right? It's called imposter syndrome. So you often concentrate on the negative things, right? What bad thing could happen? What's wrong? What's not good enough yet in yourself and also in work and your work? And you want to control everything. You want to control your food too, right? You want to control it so much that it's just not sustainable. Right? And it's also not possible to control everything and everyone like you would love to do. And then you feel so anxious all day or frustrated or angry or even sad because no one listens to you. And then food becomes the release from all these negative feelings and negative thoughts. You just want to numb them down. You just want to not think. Just quiet your mind with all these negative things. right? And when can all these negative thoughts and feelings come up the most? Of course, when you have time to think in the evening or at weekends, right? And while you eat, you feel good because you don't have to deal with these issues, but they are still there. The things that cause you these negative feelings or thoughts are still there, and you will still need to deal with them after eating. But additionally, you will have to deal with the weight gain too. Right? So the solution again to work on your mental fitness and your emotional regulation skills. And with these techniques, you can liberate yourself from the negative thought patterns and the emotional burden that they create. And also, you will need to find solutions for the issues that cause these negative thoughts and feelings, right? But you can only do that when your brain is not busy with thinking about food all the time, when you can quiet all the food noise. So you have the mental capacity, the bandwidth to deal with your actual problems, right? Not just push them under the carpet and eat to not feel the negative feelings. And the mental fitness practices that I teach my clients can also help with this. While overeating or binging in the evening or at the weekend is often viewed as simply a food issue, now you can see that it's much more complicated than that. Because if it were that simple, following a healthy meal plan would have solved it by now. But as you could see, it's much more complex than that. But the good news is that it can be resolved when you make the decision to deal with this. Right? You just have to make that decision. If you are struggling with binge eating, emotional eating, overeating, yo-yo dieting, food obsession, I talk about these issues in much more detail in my workbook called Outgrown: From Food Struggle to Self-Leadership. And in this book, you get all the information and also some practical exercises, not physical exercises, mental exercises that you can do. And you get also loads and loads of bonuses with this workbook. So check it out below in the description. And if you are ready to solve this problem right now with my support, there is a link below to book a free discovery call. And then we can talk about your specific issues and design a personalized plan how we can solve this inside my private coaching program. Or if you just want a solution for a specific issue, then you can have a VIP day with me. We spend the day together on Zoom, or if you are in Switzerland, then in person, and we solve that issue. And if you want to solve your food issues together with other women, then check out my group coaching program. You can find all the links down below in the description. And you might be wondering, how long will it take for me to overcome my eating issues? And if you want to know that, watch this video next. See you soon.